Oh, hey there, and welcome. Ooh, that's a frothy baby to the Ope EH three-way pro wrestling podcast on this episode 77. That's a good number. It's a lucky number. I'm feeling lucky. Brandon here as always, feeling lucky. Pierce, how are you feeling? You feeling lucky?
Fucking tired, man. It's my busiest work week. I do a big buying show. I don't want to get too far into it because I don't like to go into full personal details on this podcast, but I'm fucking tired.
Sure.
But we're halfway through the week. We got a really fun pay-per-view coming up from AEW and Revolution.
Real fun.
I believe it's Sunday, and I'm gonna buy it. Also, shout out to AEW for my AEW for the international fans. I think that's a great thing. I wish it was in the States. I understand why it's not. It's the same thing why there's ESPN versus, but I mean, I'd buy it. I'd do 120 and just watch everything on a VPN because I could watch Dynamites. I could watch Collisions. I don't think I've watched a Collision since it was run by CM Punk, but to be fair,
you got all the pay-per-views on there too. I mean, for the deal.
Collision, when it was ran by CM Punk, was probably the best wrestling show since Black and Gold NXT.
That's the word. But it's making a comeback. I don't think it's been like...
AEW is in a very, very, very good place right now, and I'm very happy for it. As Donnie would say, this match card is going to have 487 matches. Shout out to you, Don.
That we know of. There's always room for more.
And speaking of that, speaking of AEW, the Kicking Out Pod is unfortunately unable to make it today. We are rescheduling it. We're going to try and plan for Double or Nothing. And maybe you'll see us pop up over there. So shout out to the boys over there. 1, 2.
Can't wait to see you, fellas.
Just kidding.
There it goes.
Got that shoulder up. But
make it dramatic.
And before we get into the results of the first part of the Mania bracket and the next part of the Mania bracket, we'll go from that into AEW. Brandon, if you'll indulge me for just a moment, I'd like to talk about the past.
I suppose.
You know me.
Might see that guy this weekend. I think we probably do, but we'll get into that when we get there. 1996, year I was born. Steve Austin debuts the Stone Cold character in a match against Savio Vega. It went to a double count out, and they ran it back at WrestleMania. And I mean, from there, it's history.
Absolutely.
Arguably the greatest character of all time.
Arguably, yeah. I mean, I would certainly say like top 3, and he's not number 3. I mean, the box office numbers speak for themselves. The merch sales speak for themselves. Hell, you know, it's 316 Day coming up, right, brother? Did you see the sale they're having on WWEshop.com?
Yeah, next Monday. Sounds like they're trying to get Stone Cold on the show. I don't know why they wouldn't have already fucking booked him. It's in San Antonio.
San Antonio, right. I mean, they got something planned for him. I hope it's not like a Rock thing where they already got him planned for Saudi Mania. We talked about Saudi Mania like briefly and about how they can afford just about everybody.
Talk about Saudi Mania. I don't want to
think about it
in general. So like, I didn't mean to cut you off, but like, I
understand. It's understandable.
I don't get angry about a lot of shit, and I'll segue into this. When Cody won Friday, congratulations to QB1, WWE champion again. The hyperbole snuck out of you pretty bad, Brandon. It's not that bad.
Yeah, I was out having a few brewskis. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sick of. I've got Cody fatigue. I understand. Back at 40, I understood. We've had conversation about the rise of Cody. Excuse me, and why it makes sense to make him the QB1. Why it makes sense to have him as face of the company. He's shown himself to be, shall we say, a pretty deft politician when it comes to handling his spot in the company. I mean, you look at all and he's got a lot of guys' opportunities too, so I can't fault him for that. You look at all the guys who are in WWE partially because of Cody Rhodes. When he beat Drew, and I know he's got Highlander, I know he's got some commitments that may be on the horizon that may preclude him from being at WrestleMania.
And on the same point, I understand the gravity of Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton in Randy's first WrestleMania main event since 30, which is an insane stat.
Which was also a controversial WrestleMania main event that could have happened when he was going to face Batista.
In my eyes, it throws away 2 months of storytelling because I understand they're going to do Jacob versus Drew. It's going to happen.
Probably.
That being said, hopefully. I think it would have been a lot more interesting to do the 4-way.
Yeah, I thought it would have definitely been a lot more interesting. I feel like part of the back and forth title reigns with the WWE title now are kind of a direct response to the criticism that the company's been getting as far as like, well, they keep this belt on these guys for way too long and they should have learned with Roman. And it almost feels kind of like a troll in a sense to me, but that's my arbitrary perspective. You
got bigger problems right now. But in something that wasn't a problem, 2002 on an episode of Raw, the NWO would defeat Stone Cold and The Rock in a handicap match. It is the only time that Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold had a match together.
Also, it was an absolute dream match for the time, because when you consider growing up in the 90s and you have witnessed the rise of The Rock and Stone Cold on one end, these two, pillars of sports entertainment in general, but WWF in particular, and then the NWO, who effectively saved that company, right? And they had their own hand in making pro wrestling. Like, you see Austin 316 shirts.
WCW was still head and shoulders above of WWF, because WCW was like real world adult. This is before my time, but I understand they were pushing a boundary even before Hall and Nash were brought in. And WWF had characters like Mantar and Bash and Booger. So, like,
yeah. I mean, I certainly won't, diminish the fact that like WCW rather was a top, but I feel like the pro wrestling business as a whole was not terrific back then, and like Hogan wasn't really like, given a lot of ooh and ah like he did.
He wasn't as big of a draw as he was and then he turned black and white, and fucking money was piled in.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and
yeah.
He was also given a contract that he did not deserve. Given anybody that's not a fucking owner, creative control is some bullshit. Rest in peace, of course. I'm gonna throw that out there. I also want to say it helped NWO help WWF step up their game, but they like to them getting put into the Hall of Fame after DX is some bullshit, because
I'm very surprised.
No, I'm not, but they act like DX was this counterculture, like they were counterculture, of course, but they're like this bastion of the Attitude Era, and were main event the entire time. They were main event for like maybe 4 months. Shawn Michaels left, they became like the definitive mid-card group of the 90s. They were never in a main event spot, because when Triple H went to the main event, he turned on everybody. So, like, let's just
go figure.
pump the brakes on that. We'll jump ahead to 2018, Fastlane 2018 from Columbus, Ohio. Randy Orton would defeat Bobby Roode for the United States title and then become a Grand Slam champion. Asuka would pick Charlotte Flair as her WrestleMania opponent, and we'll get to Mania 34 in a minute. And I've got some thoughts. AJ Styles would retain the WWE Championship in a 6-pack challenge featuring Dolph Ziggler, Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and John Cena. That does it for that. How's the bracket looking?
I think we got a bit of a conclusion on the best of the worlds, or the best of the world. We're talking about CM Punk. My mind just kind of went. The best of the worst as far as WrestleManias go. So we put it to the people. People power, right?
Oh, God. Don't bring
that guy up. He's going to be... was he in one of these? I feel like he was at a Mania. We don't need to delve too far into it right this second.
Mania 28. Yeah, they had a 6-way or a 6-person tag match to determine the GM.
Oh, yeah.
And they went with the definitively worst choice over Teddy Long.
Yes, and we can certainly discuss that one at some point, I'm sure.
Holla, 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 holla. One-on-one with the Undertaker player. Holla, holla.
Oh, man, someone was going... Someone was going over his Rodney Mack era on Instagram and just like how much shit he got away with saying during that time. It was ludicrous. Promo. But oh my god, he was saying it with his chest though. I'm like, damn. But given where Teddy Long came from, man, like I can feel it. I understand where
and then you put him on SmackDown as the GM, and he's probably maybe. I mean, it's him and Aldis are 1 and 2. I think that's.
Evident. Oh yeah, yes, absolutely. Angle was good too.
He was a great GM. Like he may have flubbed his lines sometimes, and he may have really only liked 2 different matches. Have you ever seen the WWE Raw versus SmackDown Teddy Long edition where it shows like the match types you can have, and it's tag match, 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 1-on-1 with the Undertaker. Those are the only 2 match types you can have.
Give me my money back.
I would pay so much money for that game, and especially if like you press the button and then it's him. We're gonna have a tag team match player. And it's just
Lord,
I fucking love Teddy Long, and like I've walked past him at WrestleCon, gave him kind of like a hey, how you doing? And then like other people talk to him, he's like, what's going on, player? Like hey, he's gone like that, and it's
you're just like, whoa.
Dude, hearing it in real life, 5 feet away from the man, me and my buddy were standing there like, oh shit, he said the thing.
He's got to have him say the thing. He's got to say the thing everywhere he goes. Oh man, that's awesome.
Sorry, being a fan.
No worries. No, yeah, got to be a fan. This is why we here. We fans.
Especially of Teddy Long.
Yes. All right. WrestleMania 36, 27, 32. These were our 3 options for best of the worst. Put it to the people. And the winner is WrestleMania 36. Pierce, I don't know how you feel about it. It's the best of the worst, according to the polls.
Those 3, I wouldn't go back and rewatch 36, but like 36 does have the Boneyard match and the Firefly Funhouse.
Yeah.
And they're head and shoulders above anything that happened on the other 2 Manias.
Yeah.
Agreed. I mean, the 27 has Triple H versus Taker 1 or 2, which is maybe the most like story-driven streak match to that point, because you look at Undertaker the entire time of the streak, he was just immortal, and then Triple H made him a man, but like 27 also has fucking Michael Cole versus Jerry Lawler, and it's
yes, it does.
Yeah, I'm not rewatching it. And then 32 was the third Mania I had watched. And the only thing that I would go back and rewatch, well, it's 2 things. I would watch Zack Ryder, our boy Matt Cardona, win the IC title, because it was a very good surprise to start the show. And then Baron
that
Corbin,
picture frame hanging in.
Baron Corbin win the Andre, which is pretty cool. Because
the hallmark of his career. Surprised he doesn't carry it around with him, along with the MLW tag titles.
But yeah, I mean, if it's best of the worst, I understand. If we did a worst of the worst bracket, I think 27 or 32 win that.
Yeah, I'd say you're probably right. In any event, WrestleMania 36, we will talk about that and compare it next week, because it's earned the coveted slot of going up against WrestleMania 6. Hulk Hogan Ultimate Warrior. Who's going to decide the 90s? I'll give you a spoiler. It's not who you probably thought it was if you were alive in 1990. But I know I was.
So
I was a wee babe, and I enjoyed me.
Let's have Donnie on. I'd love to hear his thoughts on some of these manias.
Oh yeah, no, we got Donnie. Donnie knows
most negative Canadian person.
I hate them all.
Don, but you add a portion of negativity to this podcast. I was just thinking about it when we had him, when we were talking about Crown Jewel, and we talked about AJ versus John Cena, which was the match he put as match of the year for the Ope Awards. You and me were just fucking lauding it, giving it its stars. He's like, I'm going to be negative here. He's like, this is always. And it adds that to the pod that sometimes we need.
It's balance. It's balance that Donnie brings in all things, right? This is why we love Don. Canadian neutral, if that's a thing.
Maybe.
It can be. This podcast. WrestleMania's coming up here that we're talking about. Might have some bias towards a couple of these because we were at a couple of these ones.
Yeah.
Right? So first up, we're looking at this new region, brand new region. It's a new, like a Pokemon Gold and Silver, right? Like you get this new region. You're like, what do we do with this? We're going to explore it a little bit. We're even going to go back to the old region in the next couple of weeks.
Gold and Silver, you catch mainly Kanto Pokemon, so they lock so many Johto Pokemon to Kanto, and it's stupid. What do you mean?
It was interesting.
Houndour in Johto. That's horse shit.
You can catch Houndour in Johto. You just got to wait till nighttime. That's bull. I caught a hound. No.
No, you.
Why would they put it? You listen.
I'm looking it up.
Go ahead. They did not. That's not possible because if they would have advertised those Pokemon for Johto, they advertised them all. It was 100 new Pokemon. Granted, there weren't as many as Kanto.
Kanto route. It's the only place it's available.
Absolutely not. I recall distinctly that there were Houndour. Dude, I don't believe that for a second. Listen. We can talk about this on another podcast, but I distinctly recall Houndour in Johto. Houndour was one of my favorite boys.
Maybe Heart Gold, Soul Silver, but it's not in Gold and Silver.
Somebody's got their shit on the internet all fucked up. That's what I say to that.
Is the most accurate Pokemon website there is.
How dare you question my 26-year-old memory vault? How dare you?
Anyway, Mania 40. I know that's number one seed in this region.
Yes.
Maybe we
beautiful
should put
time.
Mania 39 there, but we'll get to Mania 39. But it was
yes, we will.
Time. We got to see a Rock main event and a long main event, but it was a lot of fun. Cody finishing the story is one of the most beautiful moments I've ever been in a crowd for.
Gave me goosebumps. Almost
Bailey versus Io is a fucking banger. Rhea versus Becky's a banger. Gunther loses the IC title to Sami Zayn with the Brain Buster, which thank you for Pat just calling it that, and not just not a top rope Brain Buster. He called it correctly.
Yeah,
and I mean, as far as the negatives, don't get me wrong. The video package before Jimmy and Jay is one of WWE's best. It is fucking great. If they just had instead of just a regular singles match and they put it as like a no holds barred, because they did one spot in the Cody and Roman Avengers Assemble match, and it was better than the entire match they had.
That match should have been like categorically and quite literally a blood feud. That should have been a bloodbath of a match. Brother v brother. The only really low spot that I would consider low within Mania 40. I mean, you had like, the Pride versus who the hell did they even face? Was it the Street Profits are part of the Pride?
The Final Reckoning, I think.
The Final Testament.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was Carrion and then
I'm
AOP.
a Killer Cross guy, but like they didn't use him right, and that's okay.
No, right. He's MLW champ now, so I mean, can't be too mad about it.
A hell of an indie run right now.
Yep.
And how's that Killer Cross is done hot take working for you?
I mean, he's done in WWE. I'll say that. He would have maybe I'm getting a little too off, but I mean, when you have Aleister Black and Selena who are effectively doing their job right now, like how much you figure the ceiling was already struck. Like he bumped his head on it a couple times. He was on his way back.
Is that the entire Karrion Kross character is that he's pretty much controlling WWE from the shadows. WWE is a chessboard and he's the one moving the pieces. And a lot of his character work showed that, he said Roman, he gave Roman the time and Bloodline started disintegrating. He said Drew McIntyre wasn't the real person he was, and Drew turned heel. He said that Uncle Howdy and the Wyatts were bullshit, and they started being fucking idiots. And
they went to SmackDown.
Yeah, that happened too. But a lot of that did come from Cross. So kudos for that. Who is Mania 40 up against here?
We're looking at Mania 33. So this had Brock Lesnar and Goldberg in it. This is the version I believe that you think very fondly of.
It's
just
the best match.
Out.
It's just it's
the bar's on the floor.
The pain match with all the finishers put to 5. That's all it is.
Yeah,
and it works.
Just max out the super meter and just run it all through the match. Hardy Boys came back. That popped me because
in a half for that.
They just came back from a fucking Ring of Honor stint where like they won the belts from the Bucks.
Yeah, they were on the expedition of gold. Yes.
And I didn't think people expected that quick of a turnaround, but then you figured they were in the area.
They had the ladder match like that day against the Young Bucks or the day before.
Yep.
And then had a match before Mania too.
Yep. And then had another ladder match against 3 very qualified tag teams. It was Gallows and Anderson, Enzo and Cass, and
I think
who the hell was the other two? Was it really?
It might have been.
Man, that's a stack. I'd have to go back and look. But
it was FTR or it was no, it wasn't the New Day because the New Day introduced them.
The New Day were the intro. Yeah, they were the hosts that year.
The New Day were the hosts.
Yep.
It was Gallows and Anderson versus Enzo and Cass, and then I want to say the Revival. So
that sounds right, and it sounds fitting for that time too. But then also, lest we forget, I feel like it doesn't get enough talk, but like the pre-show was pretty decent. Like you had like Neville and Aries, I believe, were on this card. No, that was 31. I was pretty sure they were on 31.
No, it was Neville and Austin Aries. They were
on the card for 30.
They had a banger. It's expected between those two.
And for the cruiserweight title too, which I mean, you know me, brother. I love me some cruiserweights. I know that you say they don't fit in today's era, especially considering you have the big boys all doing the same shit that the little boys do, and da da da.
I mean, I don't say that. I don't think the cruiserweight title is needed because the whole point of the cruiserweight title was because it was a ceiling, and a lot of these people that are smaller in this now smaller wrestling world, that ceiling is not needed. You let these guys fucking go and get them over with the crowd, and the crowd will tell you, yeah, that's our guy.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we can bring it up at another hot takes where, I mean, I still see the merit in it. I feel like Neville and Aries were definitely emblematic of like, if they just got story behind them, like how great a cruiserweight division could be, right? And how you could still get that over. Mojo Rawley won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, friend of the podcast, first ever friend of our podcast. Maybe second ever, but he was certainly in our cover photo.
Him and AJ.
Yes. Yep. AJ Francis, who just signed with TNA, by the way. If you saw that.
Great job by TNA to keep him. He's
picking up. And lastly, I believe the noteworthy match from this, besides maybe this is another one. Oh no, this was
I give you some
AJ Shane.
AJ's best WrestleMania match.
Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon can pull out for whoever, though. That's something that needs to be stated about him.
Greatest Nepo baby of all time.
Yep. Reigns and Taker were in there, too, speaking of Nepo babies.
And Taker's fake retirement match, really bad match. And then speaking of really bad match, Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt in the Spooky Bug match.
Oh, yeah. Is that the one where he had, like, the big old snake that kind of... like
snake.
Yeah, it looked like some reproductive material.
Yep. All right, let's go to the next one.
Let's see. So in the next one, we don't have a third person to decide who we thought was better. I mean, I'm going with 40. I'm pretty biased.
40, and it's not even close. There's a reason that 33 is the 8th seed in this bracket.
Yup, I think that's unquestionable. But we'll put it to the polls. The fans decide. Speaking of decisions, we're going to decide between WrestleManias 37 and 38. WrestleMania 37 coming off the heels of COVID, first Mania with fans back from that one
first event they had with fans back, and it was they didn't have a full stadium. They did not allow it due to COVID restrictions.
Sure,
but they had a half full stadium, and that's something to celebrate.
And they had a good energy about it too. Like you could tell people were excited to be back for an event like this. and it provided us with Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan and Edge. I believe that was on WrestleMania 37.
Night 2's main event, they stacked them up. It was awesome.
Yup. You had Bad Bunny making his WrestleMania debut. Did a fucking
celeb matches and celeb wrestlers there is.
Thick ass Canadian Destroyer on Johnny Nitro / Johnny Impact / now Johnny Pelon. Now Johnny Sins.
All right. Main event of night one.
Not me who says it. Other people say it.
You know, fucking banger.
Yep.
And in like one of the most historic main events in WrestleMania history, being the first one with 2 African American women and 2 women who absolutely deserved it.
Yeah.
To put some negative on that match, because there's not a lot. Bianca hits the KOD and wins, because the KOD is one of those finishes that doesn't get kicked out of.
Right.
Michael Cole, you could tell Michael Cole is reading a script, because it's 1, 2, 3, and he goes, a kick out, she kicked out, and Corey Graves is like, no, she didn't. Bianca just won. It's like,
whoa.
let's be happy Michael Cole is a lot, like, he fucks up things now, but like him without Vince in his ear is just so much better.
Yeah, you can tell there's actual motivation to be at work on those days, which is great. Everyone benefits from a free Michael Cole.
They were, and Luke Owen was talking about how you could tell Michael Cole was the voice of Vince, where like if you listen to JR's commentary, even though Vince is in his ear, it's JR being, you know, honest. Like he's reacting to what he sees. He's not just reading the script, while Michael Cole is just, yep. I'm going to do what my boss says.
Yep. Yeah, it's always good to have Michael Cole. I mean, him not having Vince in his ear easily added another 10 to 15 years to his career.
Well, he's 60 years old. He's got like a couple years max.
Yeah, with the travel schedule and everything. I mean, I guess I'm being a little hyperbolic, but it certainly revitalized him in a way that I certainly did not expect. And I'm here for it.
To go back to Mania 37, to put a negative, The Fiend versus Randy Orton.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, the aesthetic of Dark Alexa Bliss, like kind of giving up the...
Yeah, but they did nothing with it. Bray got released 3 months later.
Well, I mean, certainly wouldn't be the first time, wouldn't be the last time either, right? We had stories in WWE that didn't end up going anywhere. So that was one you did not want to fuck up, because I felt like The Fiend for a while was a very protected character. Obviously, Randy Orton is Randy Orton.
I don't know how they just didn't get Bray Wyatt either time. Cult Leader Bray or Fiend Bray. And neither of them are that hard of characters to understand.
Well, and they were planning another evolution for him.
Cult Leader Bray did not need powers. You want to give the Fiend powers? Sure, because he's it's the nice guy. It's the Two-Face. It's Harvey Dent versus Two-Face in a sense, or the Joker is whatever the Joker's real name is, because nobody knows it. But like, it's Mr. Rogers and the Joker. It's basically just Jekyll and Hyde. How do you fuck that up? It's not that hard, but they did.
No,
it was just an out of touch man writing stories. That's all it was.
Because it wasn't his story. It wasn't his ideas. It wasn't the ideas of the people who make his ideas, right? Like, it was pretty much all Bray. And if, they can't have one of those rogue elements existing in the universe, right? It's got to all come down to lockstep.
Powers to it for no reason. I mean, the Fiend can have some powers, but like the only power he should have is being able to come out of nowhere.
I mean, like they should have kept that shit to a minimum, honestly, because when you consider like horror trends and stuff like that too, like less is more in a lot of cases, right? I mean, hell, even Cult Leader Bray without powers, running the kind of the
Bray didn't need powers. That's the whole thing.
No, he didn't.
He had the gift of gab, and that's the only thing a cult leader needs.
Didn't he borrow the Undertaker's powers for a little bit, or like Kane's powers? Both. He stole them, like used the fucking.
He's like, I have the fire, I have the lightning, and it's I remember.
It's like the 1,000-year Blood War arc in Bleach, where he takes the bonfire or whatever. Do you watch Bleach?
No, I don't.
Oh, never mind it. But continue. Sorry.
But so what was the other one? You said 38.
Yeah, 37, 38. Yeah. So 38 was the biggest WrestleMania match of all time, and the unification of Brock Lesnar's WWE title and Roman Reigns' Universal title.
Pretty boring.
Went by, yeah, went by pretty quick. Was kind of deflating. But alas, we don't get the tribal chief we have today. If that didn't happen, he was already showing pretty significant signs of it. But that's what put him over the top for the next 2 years. Was kind of a controversial decision at the time for me because I'm like, he's still not defending these damn belts, and Raw doesn't have a title.
He was defending them pretty frequently at that time, and then 2023 happened, and the part time happened. So, well, let's talk about merits. You get Stone Cold versus Kevin Owens in an impromptu match that fucking bangs. Austin Theory versus Pat McAfee is a spectacle.
Yeah.
And Pat was maybe the most over person of that Mania besides Wee Man because of Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn in maybe like the most like that was the most tailor-made match for me because I love Jackass, and then you just have, and I love WWE, you combine those things and they're like, oh wow, this works really well.
So somehow they made Jackass relevant in 2020.
I mean, Jackass 4 was coming out like that,
but it
came out like 4, and Jackass 5 is coming out in a few months here. So
god dang, Jackass is such, like, to me it's like such a late 90s early 2000s staple.
Yeah, but it's still really like, you know what, let's go watch a Jackass movie, and you're like, oh, this fucking rules.
Maybe, yeah. I don't,
like,
they're so old, man.
Bianca versus Becky is great. Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins, and Cody's return to WWE. Something. Even though he was the quote unquote prodigal son, I didn't think he was ever going to leave AEW, but he kind of had to leave. And
I mean, he painted himself into a corner. He was never going to be world champion. Yeah, he didn't want to be heel, even though he was pretty clearly becoming heel, according to fans. And he was never going to be world champion unless he went back on his word with something, which in that case, it's like...
We'll get to something like that shortly. We got to kind of power through these.
Yeah.
Negatives from 38. I'm trying to think. I think it was just kind of a middle of the road Mania. Rick Boogs hurting himself against the Usos wasn't great.
Nope.
Honestly, I can't remember much else, but that kind of shows why it's in the middle of the bracket.
It was missing Logan Paul's WrestleMania debut when he teamed with The Miz against Rey and Dominic Mysterio. Oh, those are the days, Rey and Dom teaming.
The Miz turned on Logan and got cheered at the end, and then somehow Logan Paul was the baby face at the end. Yeah, that's weird.
It was a weird time, brother.
It's a middle of the road Mania. What do we got next?
I mean, what do you think was better? Did you go with 37 or 38?
I'd probably go with 38, but that's not saying much.
No, and really too, like we said, like 37 was kind of a byproduct of its time, as the way 36 was. 38 just had a bit more to it, like we said. So I'm going with 38 on that as well, if it makes anything move along faster, which we are. We're moving along into WrestleMania's 34 versus WrestleMania 41. So 41 was the last one that we were at. 34, I was not at it. Thank God I wasn't, because I probably would have given up on wrestling if I had to experience that in person. What went on with that Mania? But
so let's give it positives for 34. The opener of Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, and The Miz for the IC title fucking rules.
Yup. Couldn't go wrong with that match.
Charlotte is very good, minus the last minute.
Yeah.
I can't really give much else, if I'm being honest. The rest of it, I mean, The Undertaker versus John Cena had a very weird build and turned into a squash match, but I think it fucking worked.
Yeah, it was fun. John Cena and the meme with him being very impressed with Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali. That was a barn burner.
He's pounding beers in the front row. Of course he lost the Undertaker for 5 minutes. He had like 4 Bud Heavies.
You lousy drunk. Yeah. Yeah, that ain't how you show up to Mania, John. Showing up in your gear in the front row, just fucking pounding the brewskis.
I think the build for that is really weird, but I think it works. And the Undertaker, for the 5 minutes he was in the ring, looked really good for his age at that time. And we hadn't really seen a good Undertaker match since WrestleMania 29, which is saying something. And like for 5 minutes, we got one. As for the negative,
he got his mojo back.
Shinsuke versus AJ, really disappointing. They finally had the match they should have
immensely
a month and a half ago. Horrible. Although Nakamura should have won pretty easily here. I don't know why Vince just doesn't like Japanese wrestlers for whatever reason, because Asuka should have beat Charlotte and kept.
And you have him win the Rumble, for fuck's sake.
And Braun Strowman, love you, Adam, but you winning the tag titles from the bar with a 10-year-old child was just weird. And really
having to drop.
It
had to drop the titles because they had to go to school.
he buried the fucking Raw tag division.
Yeah, it was a bruise.
And then,
but hey,
arguably the worst Mania main event of all time. It's the Brock Goldberg match done wrong.
Yeah.
The only good thing in this match is when Roman gets busted open and his whole face is crimson, and it's a really cool visual. But instead of having him win like that, and people probably would have been like, okay, good. Now we get away from champion Brock. Brock wins for fucking no reason.
Well, just because he's Brock, man. Does he need a reason at this point? You know, he's still close enough of winning the streak.
When WWE did the WWE 24 and they showed like the WrestleMania days, Brock knew it was a fucking stinker and hated it, and you could tell. And he walks into Gorilla and throws the belt at Vince.
Yeah.
And Vince calls him the asshole. No, Vince, fuck you, man. That's on you. You booked the goddamn show.
Welcome to the Fuck You Vince podcast, hosted by Brandon and Pierce.
Mania 41, though. Fucking, I think it's a middle of the road Mania, but I think it's a
wait. We didn't want to talk about Jinder Mahal winning the U.S. title at WrestleMania 34. We didn't want to talk about that.
Despite Rusev being the most over person in the match, and he gets
and Ronda Rousey.
And Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie.
Yeah.
And maybe the best debut match ever.
Yeah, how about that WrestleMania 41?
Io, Rhea, Bianca. Greatest match in Mania history.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Without question.
Punk versus Roman versus Seth is great. And then you get I have a video of the intro video for CM Punk, and I'm talking to Donnie, and I'm like, I'm such a mark, dude. And he just starts
I wish I was there for that.
And Cena wins 17, which is really cool, but fucking Travis Scott's there, and there was a real stinker of a match.
Travis, not the Rock Scott.
Stone Cold crashed into the fucking barricade, which is funny.
And someone was threatened. Someone did a fucking LeBron flop. Just,
I mean, wouldn't you?
If I had a chance to sue Stone Cold Steve Austin into WWE and there was camera footage of it, I mean,
Jacob
I'm not going to sit here.
The U.S. title from LA Knight in a great match. As for the bad, Charlotte and Tiffy was maybe the most disappointing match besides AJ and Shinsuke on this side of the card. Because number one, the AJ Styles and Shinsuke build-up didn't really need much because everybody was like, oh, Wrestle Kingdom 10, and here we fucking come. And the WWE build-up is not going to hold a candle to that. That's all the build-up you need. So everybody's fucking excited for it, right? That match probably would have gone over if it went on first. I understand why it didn't go on first, but like at that point, people were tired and they just wanted to get to that match, and then it was a really slow playing match. This had a fucking terrible build-up that had shooting all over the place. So we were expecting something hard hitting, and maybe these two women put aside their differences and then just have a fucking banger. And they don't. They have the most disappointing match of the weekend. New Day versus the War Raiders had no right being on this Mania, especially because the SmackDown tag titles
so disappointing.
Have a fucking amazing TLC match.
Match of the year candidate.
Thinking of night 2.
Dominic, the triple threat.
Yeah, no, you want a fatal 4-way. Dominic wins the
That
fatal
was before.
4-way,
Yep, you're right.
win the IC title for the first time. Fucking banger
Yep.
there. And then
Yep.
I know
De facto
you
face.
still think Gunther was buried, but he wasn't.
It's weird turnaround. Very weird turnaround.
It's not a weird turnaround.
People still chant that he tapped out. Well, yeah, like he taps out that quick at 41, and to a guy like Jey Uso, and I'm convinced very thoroughly that he's buried in the desert, as Don so eloquently put it.
Because you said he was buried the second it happened, and we're like, that's not
Yes.
what happened at all.
Because I'm a reactionary fuckhead. That's why. I'm full of booze and caffeine.
Your hyperbole sneaks out of you pretty easily.
I have high blood pressure.
I think it's probably besides their Raw match where Gunther wins the title back, it's their best match together. And it's maybe the hottest way you can start a Mania. And I still think it was the right decision. And Jay's back in the tag ranks, and now it's getting more bloodliney, but I don't want to talk about that. But Gunther is on the run of his life, and the pivotal moment for that was this. And so I think we have to take that into merit. For which one I think is better, it might be recency bias. It might be because I was there, but I think 41 does clear 34 pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you consider also just like the historical relevance of 41 with John Cena winning over Cody Rhodes, albeit with very odd circumstances. I mean, it's heel Cena at this point, right? No Rock kind of subtracted from it, but like you can't diminish the Never Seen 17. Dominic winning his first championship.
It's not
the women's triple threat. His first singles title, because he won the tags with his dad, but his first singles title, like his first solo. Well, first on the main roster, we'll call it that. He was on the main roster most of the time he was North American champion. He was doing like main roster shows. I will acknowledge that he's a fucking workhorse. But like it's the first like main roster title, and is at WrestleMania too, which is pretty sweet. Definitely set the table for this year's Mania.
Arguably the most over person on that Mania that weekend.
Oh, definitely was. Yeah, we love us some Dirty Dom. It was fun. It was a fun match to watch with you guys. That was arguably one of like the most fun matches to watch with all of us. I'm gonna go with 41 too. I mean, like, recency
at that point too. So
yeah, remember when let's not talk about how I was drinking that day.
Well, dude, I know Donnie brought it up and makes fun of me for it, but like any security guard sees you puke in that fucking trash can while we're going into the stadium, they're like, I don't know, man, you might have to leave.
It's Vegas.
It's Vegas, but it's still like
look, I wasn't shitting in it.
It's not Wisconsin. Any chance?
No, it's not.
Any chance of some bullshit happening is going to happen at a stadium.
Yeah.
I always like to err on the side of caution with things. So,
well, of course, no, but there was no erring. Like my body was in error mode at that point. It was good. It was going to happen, and that was my fault. Lesson learned.
Let me see. At that point, when you were puking, I was 4 mimosas, a twisted tea, and then I had to house half that twisted tea before I got into the stadium. So
was that the same day I hammered all those bloodies?
No, that was the first day. That was the day I flew.
Okay.
That dude, we'll sidebar on that. We went to breakfast and met up with everybody at the Luxor, and the fucking waiter was just like, oh, you want another one? He's like halfway done. Brandon's like, sure. And then like 7 bloodies later, he's like, you want another?
Those bloodies were weak. Those didn't have any body to them. They went down like V8, and I'm just like, it only hit me after probably the 5th or 6th
too. So that's why
they were. That's why, yeah, you got to give her. You got to get your money's worth.
And then to circle back, because we're about 45 minutes in this episode, we haven't even talked about AEW yet. So we'll power through those predictions. What's the last Mania on this bracket?
We are looking at, if we both agree on 41 clearing on our end, WrestleMania's 39 and 35. WrestleMania 39, Austin Theory, John Cena, high point for me. Austin Theory coming up with the win over John Cena.
The worst match.
United States Championship.
It's not even particularly close.
Oh, come on.
And
I see.
Theory won, but he was buried in the lead up, and then the loss buried him more.
It didn't do him any favors. I will say that. You hope it's one of those things he can look at in a highlight reel later on in his career when he might have actually achieved some more thing of merit and be like, hey, I beat John Cena at WrestleMania for the U.S. title.
He's the fifth least important person in a group that has two people that are hurting it, Brandon.
3 people if you count Paul Heyman, because apparently he's out indefinitely now too.
Yeah, 3 people because Paul's...
it's Logan Paul and Austin Theory on an island right now, and
the island of relevancy.
We'll just see how it goes. Yeah, I mean, hey, Theory's a little more relevant hanging around with Logan Paul, right? I always said they'd be a great team because Theory had
Logan Paul, and it didn't help him at all.
Theory had the thing with
I like Theory. Don't get me wrong. Me and him talked some shit back and forth to each other. Mania 40 weekend. I think he's very quick witted, but this current Theory is really stupid.
He would have been better off if the gang was all there. Now, if it's just him and Logan, like he's kind of just, it's like sink or swim almost, right? Like he has no like barriers. He has no.
He's not swimming right now.
He has no coaches in his ear. He had one good quip. Did you hear the part where he goes, "I have a theory," and he just gets that little satisfied nod? It's like they start chanting that he sucks. I was like, "That's great."
To get back to Mania 39, Usos versus Sammy and Kevin is, I think it's one of the top 2 WrestleMania main events of all time. It is that fucking good.
It's great. I was waiting for a tag main event for so long since I was always on about how the tag vision was never really fully appreciated since like Black and Gold and like American Alpha, FTR, well, the Revival at the time, and then like Gargano and Ciampa. But they definitely showed a lot in that match, and it had such a build.
It had one of the best builds in Mania history, and it delivered on every front. And
absolutely did.
It showed why all 4 of those guys, Jimmy included, should be in the position that they are.
Yeah.
And I do hope Jimmy gets his time as a world championship competitor, because Monday on Raw, I don't want to harp on it too much, when Jay's going crazy. Like they play all 3 of those guys played off each other great, with Jay being a crazy person and being so angry. And then Jim coming in like fucking Jake the Snake Roberts and talking real low and getting direct in this guy's face.
Yep.
And getting to the point and like,
didn't stutter. Yeah.
And then CM Punk although Punk is being the same way Roman usually is, I don't think he's necessarily wrong. All heels never fucking apologize for the way they are, besides I guess Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, but like it's like Roman loses the title and then everybody just trusts him again. He hasn't changed one bit. I'm still waiting for the fucking tribal apology.
You and CM Punk both, brother. Maybe that'll be like his Hall of Fame speech.
Back to Mania 39, Mania Night 2 main event is great, minus the last 5 minutes. Because everybody in that crowd wanted Cody to win, and he didn't. And
it paid off.
It paid off. It did pay off. You get a really fun match between Brock and Omos, which I don't think is talked about enough, because Omos is great. I don't care what you saw on AAA. Omos is great. I'm an almost
so bad. It was so bad, dude.
You get the SmackDown, or no, it was the Raw tag team like showcase match, which fucking bangs. And then arguably the meatiest match. I know I just talked about Brock and Omos, but arguably the meatiest match in Mania history, with Gunther, Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus for the IC title.
Goated.
And I'm gonna talk about Wrestle Talk again. Shout out to Luke Owen. He was talking about this match on one of their 3-count episode, or not 3-count, TLC episodes, where they do lists of their top 10s.
Sure, yeah.
And he's like, this match fucking rules. You know what Sheamus does? Kicks the shit out of Drew McIntyre. You know what Drew does? Kicks the shit out of Gunther. You know what Gunther does? Kicks the shit out of both of them. It's just 15 minutes of those three guys just beating the fuck out of each other, and it rules. The only downside is Titus O'Neil is on commentary for reasons, and he can't really add to that match.
He brought the energy. I will give that to him. He brought the energy. But yeah, Gunther, just shit like that. But no, Gunther power bombing a dude with another dude on top of another dude was just so aesthetic and so
dude with a dude.
Just so much like just meat slapping through that whole fucking match. Goddamn, like one of the top triple threats of all time at Mania. Never mind the top Intercontinental Championship match of all time at WrestleMania for my money. Lest we forget Rhea Ripley, Charlotte
over Shawn and Razor, really.
I think so. But that's my bias because I love the meat matches. I like triple threats. That's why I'm kind of upset they didn't go with a multi-man match this year at Mania yet, because I feel like they add just a little bit of extra, especially if you could do it right. And we've said it, they have the story there. They can do Fatal 4-Way. They can do, hell, if they want to get ballsy, they could do Championship Scramble. But I mean, this is what we're served, and it's okay.
Bianca versus Asuka is great. Rhea and Charlotte, oh my god,
one of the greatest women's matches.
I don't know,
probably of all time.
The real negative is Theory and Cena. Like,
come on,
the SmackDown Women's Tag Showcase didn't really showcase the tag division that great, and as for Mania 35, you had the final Mania matches and 2 retirement matches of Batista and Kurt Angle both retired on this. Their matches maybe not that great, and Triple H's last Mania match against Batista, which, although not that great, it deserves some precedent. You get Kofi Mania. Oh, it was so beautiful. Seth versus Brock to open the show, and it's just the match literally only goes 2.5 minutes, but they just start fighting each other before the bell and fuck around for 5 minutes, and then Seth wins the Universal title, and then Becky fucking Lynch in the main event. They botched the finish, which sucks, but and they botched the entire build up to that match because it should have just been Becky and Ronda, and that's it.
And then here comes, hi, I'm Charlotte.
Asuka gets fucking buried in the build up, even worse than 34.
Yeah, it was not great.
It's just unfortunate. The rest of the Mania, I can't really tell you much. I mean, Baron Corbin I love Baron Corbin, but he shouldn't have been the one to retire Kurt Angle.
No, fucking no. Hawkins and Ryder won the tag titles. That was a good feel-good moment. Well, it was a feel-good moment. I mean, I felt like it could have qualified for main card. It was important, I thought.
Finn Balor was the title as the Demon, which is fine. Styles and Randy is pretty good. But yeah.
The Iconics won the tag titles.
Which is great, but they had no right to beat the Boston Hug Connection that early. It was them showing that they did not care about that division.
It's kind of like I think of the Bella Twins. Like if they were the Bellas, probably would have been in that spot too because of their tenure and because of their commitment as a tag team. Boston Hug are kind of like 2 single stars put together, right? It's kind of like, like Rock and Sock.
Bailey and Mercedes have come out saying they wanted to build that division and hold these titles for a good while, but instead they just had to lose them right away. Which is the Iconics winning is great because I love the Iconics, the inspiration, fucking awesome. But I can't. There's no fucking chance for this to be over 39.
Yeah, no, I don't see it either. It had potential. There was a lot of potential. We talked about it. Triple H, Batista, Kurt Angle, all of them having their very last WrestleMania in this show. The first instance of Reigns and McIntyre that I can recall, unless they had something.
It was Roman Reigns coming back from leukemia and just winning to win.
Well, they had Roman. I was gonna say they had Roman and Drew for Survivor Series before, did they not?
This would have been before Tribal Chief Roman.
Okay. You're right.
This was the big dog.
It was. One thing I will take as a big negative on 39, though, I don't know if you mentioned it. Did you mention it as I was kind of listening We I watched an episode of Santi's cast, and he was talking about bringing up the Demon Finn losing to Edge.
No, I didn't.
Brood Edge, Sparkly Skull Edge.
It was such a slam dunk to have Finn win because he won one match the entire time, and it was the I Quit match. But instead, Edge wins, and just Finn Balor was born at that point.
Yeah, it was just he wasn't recovering from it, and he took a badass gash too. It was it was ugly to look at.
It seems like Finn is finally back now, and back as fucking Finn Balor. Like,
let's see if it continues the momentum post Mania. I hope so.
He better not lose the Dom. That's all I'm gonna say. Dom has no right winning that fucking match.
What's the over under of Finn costing Dom the AAA title against Vikingo coming up?
Pretty fucking high on the over.
Yeah, I'd say that's accurate. No more Dom in AAA, but I mean he's gonna be too busy in WWE anyways.
He's too big for AAA, respectfully. Who won the other matches or the round one matches? I don't know if we brought that up.
So for round one, it was kind of a straight shot down. So WrestleMania 17 was a pretty clear, pretty far and away victor when you compare it to WrestleMania 12. So that one will move on. And then WrestleMania 18 edged out over Mania 15. Not as bad a blowout as with 17, but still pretty sizable.
I would say it should be a bigger blowout, realistically.
Yeah.
But if you look at those cards top to bottom, it probably makes more sense. But Rock and Hogan is like the quintessential, like over Andre and Hogan, it's the quintessential WrestleMania match.
Right. Yeah, WrestleMania 19 took its spot as well. And then between 10 and 20, it was kind of interesting. Like the Facebook folk seemed to really like WrestleMania 10. And then you get on X Machine and it's WrestleMania 20. So and then between like what you and I and Pete were talking about last time, it was pretty close. It was like, I want to say 20 barely edged, like it was like literally one vote, but I think 20 just like barely edged out over 10.
I voted for 10 on Facebook. I just, the 20 has a dark shadow over it, and it's hard to.
It does. It does. For decennial manias, though, it did stand out pretty well. I thought when you in retrospect, Cena and Show, Kane and Taker, who else? Rock and Mankind versus Mick Foley versus Evolution. Obviously, the Triple Threat, Eddie and Kurt. 10 was one of those manias that was like really stand out on its own too. It was like you said, I believe, like one of the first manias that was like actually
great mania.
Great. Yeah.
There are great moments in other manias, but this one is the first one where you can stand out. It shows up like, hey, WrestleMania is fucking here. Like, watch us. And it's really just because of two matches, like, which is what like puts most manias above others, even though right now we're in the fucking greatest era of wrestling ever. Is a pure match. Speaking of great wrestling, AEW Revolution takes place from the Crypto.com arena in Los Angeles. We're gonna go pretty quick. We're pretty deep in this episode already, which I did not expect us to spend that long talking about WrestleMania, but I had fun. So
it's WrestleMania season, baby.
In the pre-show, Ricochet is defending the national championship in a 21-man blackjack battle royale.
Oh, fuck.
None of the participants are announced, but
Lord. I have faith in Ricochet.
I don't think Ricochet is going to be losing the title. I think he's going to sneak out after some crazy save from elimination, which I think would just be fun. I think that's going to be a great way to start this show.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I mean, Ricochet, he's doing pretty good, decent work as a heel right now, and he's kind of got this role going on. I'd be curious to see who would be the one to beat him, because I feel like Ricochet's kind of casting a shadow with the national championship, and you kind of have to pick that up and carry the ball and hope you can get some sort of notoriety. He's gonna be in Canada for Global Wars with Ring of Honor and MLP, and they're advertising him as national champion at that time. So we'll see. Maybe he comes out ahead. I'm rooting for him.
I think
I don't think he's doing that.
Briscoe could win it too. So let's just throw those two names out.
It's entirely possible.
Also, Ciampa is a heel now. He gave him the old Gargano throw.
Oh yeah.
People bitching about that. Who gives a shit? Like they're gonna call. Of course, they would call back to the greatest feud in NXT history with Tommaso Ciampa becoming the Psycho Killer. Who gives a shit? Like it's fine.
He ended up becoming NXT champion after that. So I mean, right? Like that's how he's got to do it. Right. It'll be all right.
It's gonna be fine.
It'll be all right.
In what I assume is going to be your favorite match of the evening, Big Boom AJ is going to be on the card.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to go with Boom. The Rizzler is winning.
You said
the Rizzler's just going to. It's going to be Big Boom AJ versus the Rizzler, and the Rizzler is going to win.
He's just going to give him all he's got. The Rizzler is just going to hit him with one of these.
And that's
I don't know, brother.
He does it because his son never got to see him wrestle, and maybe it's getting his son ready to possibly wrestle someday.
He's a big kid.
That's fun.
And I mean too, like
AJ. You know what I mean?
Who does AEW kind of got in a kind of like a Miz role, or like who have they just signed recently? Anybody? I'm trying to go down the Rolodex of who might.
It's UT Marshall.
Okay, but they're buddies now, you know.
Yeah,
unless they hate each other.
Maybe this is where Ciampa comes out and just fucking murders him.
I mean, I would be fine with it, but
Timeless Tony Storm versus Marina Shafir singles match. Everyone is banned from ringside. I think you put a stamp on Shafir here.
Yes, I think this is where Tony shines as someone who doesn't have the women's title right now, because she's made such a name for herself as kind of the apex of women in AEW's women's division. She had been there for years. And now that you have talent like Statlander and Thekla and others who are going to be gunning for that championship, who are made within the company, I feel like Tony Storm's one of her best roles. One of the best roles she can serve at this point in time is starting to like really build those next in lines, right? So like your Megan Baines, your Marina Shafirs. Time will tell if someone like Penelope Ford steps up, right? Or if you want to kind of give some thunder back in Thunder Rosa, you know, on kind of a limb there, or hell, even like boost Britt Baker if she shows back up.
If you can build Harley Cameron to the world title that way too.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, you got to figure at some point, because interesting fact, I didn't know Harley Cameron did the theme song for The Inspiration. And I mean, you got to figure that The Inspiration are going to be winning the AEW women's tag titles pretty soon. So,
yeah, but we'll get there when we get there. So you're going with Marina as well?
I would go with Marina here. Yeah. I wish she would have shaved her head after that match, so it would have made her look like just like this G.I. Jane type killer. But like Marina Shafir is Marina. They've made a lot out of Marina Shafir, and she was like ass when she first grabbed the stick, brother. She was ass, but they're giving her a bit more polish.
So much.
He
still has the rawest photo of all time, or rawest video of all time, with her smoking a cigarette and working out, and black and white. It fucking rules. Trios match for the AEW World Trios titles. We're going to kind of power through these. We're pretty deep into the episode. Don Callis family just won the titles. Kazuchika Okada, Kyle Fletcher, and Mark Davis versus Mystico and Jet Speed Jet, Kevin Knight, and Speedball Mike Bailey. Obviously it was the Jet Set Rodeo who lost them. Hangman is going to be in the main event. We'll get to that in just a second here. I don't see the Don Callis family losing here. But I think either choice is fine. But they need to build the trios division a little more. Get some true trios in there.
And in that vein, I think you keep the belts on Okada and Ozzy open. I almost said
Oh,
Aussie
yeah, that
Airborne.
is
I'm
Aussie
thinking
Open,
Irish
isn't it?
Airborne. It is Aussie Open, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people forget that because Kyle Fletcher is Kyle Fletcher now and Mark Davis is still Mark Davis, but he's a big meaty boy, but he ain't no Kyle Fletcher. He's not having Osprey
Close your
tier
eyes,
matches.
count to fuck.
Yeah, I mean, sure, we can all get over on theme songs, right? But
Oh, that's not a
yeah, I
theme.
have
That's
my.
a finisher.
That is, oh yeah, that is a finisher. You're
That's
right.
his
I thought he
pop
came
up.
out to the song at one point too.
That's his catch fucking pile driver. For the
Yeah.
AEW Women's World Title in a 2 out of 3 falls match, Tekla versus Chris Statlander. They have 1 win apiece, and I think you keep the belt on Tekla right now. They kind of hot shotted the belt to her. I don't know if people thought she was maybe ready. She's fucking ready, and I think she's great. And I think the Toxic Spider is a great person to put a stranglehold on that title for a while. Not too long, because we did see Tony Storm hold it for pretty much 2 straight years, more or less. But I think she's somebody who holds it till maybe All In.
Yeah, Tekla's one who she came into AEW with a lot of fanfare, and I was curious to see how she was going to adapt to it, right? Because she's a similar breed as we're talking about Tony Storm, similar breed as Tony Storm, and even Mariah May / Blake Monroe. Came out of Japan, came out of the Joshi circuit, one of the greatest gaijin, male or female, I believe. That's certainly for female, that's come out of Japan, and with having the Triangle of Madness around her too, just up in the relevance of both Julia Hart and Sky Blue. I don't see her losing the title right away. I can see her through hijinks keeping the title. It keeps stats strong, but I think Tekla wins it.
Any of these next 5 matches could be match of the year. Brody King versus Swerve Strickland, singles match. Swerve's gonna win.
Yep.
Because he's 2023 Swerve, I think, is not going to hold a candle to this motherfucker. This guy's evil. He's gonna be he's breaking into houses again soon, guaranteed.
Maybe we set him on fire this time. I mean, and he's beefier too. Like, he's ready for another world title run. That's the funny thing too. I don't want to get too far into it. It's a packed scene. He could win at any time. Brody King's got a good upside to him. He's got his spotlight, but I don't think it's enough for him to beat Swerve. So,
Andrade El Idolo versus Bandito. What a fucking turnaround for Andrade from, he was supposed to be out for a year due to a non-compete, which is horseshit. And then he comes back after re-debuting in AEW to a huge pop. You know what I mean? And then we didn't expect to see him for another year. He comes back and has been on the run of his life, and it's going to continue. I don't think Bandito's beating him. I know that probably pisses you off, but nobody cares.
I'm just irritated.
I mean, Ring of Honor, title. What they're doing with Ring of Honor right now, the Ring of Honor title does not matter. I will say, them putting it in Daly's place or wherever they are right now and recording multiple episodes and actually giving a shit, great for Ring of Honor. Genuinely great for them. The title doesn't matter right now, despite Bandito being a top 10 wrestler in the world. I know that pisses you off.
It's the craziest thing.
But
that's an easy way. I don't know. You easily put the belt in Andrade and make the belt relevant that way too. But
it also drags Andrade to ROH, which he is not, shouldn't be there. Neither should Bandito, for that matter.
Well, to say Roosh is there, LFI is all there. That's a natural fit, but
he's with the Callis family, so
yeah, that was a weird. I mean, things can change too, right?
So what are you picking here?
I'm thinking it's going to be Andrade. It's going to be shenanigans, but I think it's going to be Andrade. It's going to be a very, very fucking competitive match, though.
Yeah, like I said, any of these 5 could be match of the year. John Moxley versus Konosuke Takeshita for the Continental Championship. And in one of the best fucking decisions they've ever made with this stupid ass title, no time limit.
It's just such a weird title. when you have all those other titles?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I kind of think they're going to put it on Takeshita, and there might be a little fucking rainmaker coming Takeshita's way because he beat the guy that Okada could not beat.
What's the over/under on Takeshita winning the belt, and then
I couldn't.
The Death Riders turning on Mox?
This is the most 50-50 match on this card for me. The other ones, I'm pretty sure I have the right winner, but this one, no idea. I wish Kicking Out Pod was, because they watch AEW weekly. I don't have the luxury to do it, but like I try to keep AEW as much as I can. Who you got?
Fuck. I almost want to say Mox holds it just for now. I mean, Takeshita just got a belt. I think he'll be fine.
It's gonna be a banger.
It's gonna be great.
Number 4, FTR versus the Young Bucks.
Okay.
FTR Young Bucks 4. FTR is not losing these yet.
No.
Because I think they're going to try some bullshit, and then we hear this.
You think you know me?
Wow.
Because we haven't seen them since Toronto. It's been, 5 months?
Yeah.
And I think it's time they start building that match, because they're the last people to beat FTR, are they not?
I believe so. Well, and I mean, they could also say like, well, the Hardys and the Young Bucks had a tag match together, and I want to say Jin Me and Team 3D had a match in TNA. I could be wrong, but then the Bucks and
what are you talking about?
no, I'm just saying, like, if the Bucks won it, then they can have Edge and Christian come out and just be like, oh, for the
FTR versus Cope and Christian is the way to go.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying it could go either way in my mind.
Up called Dynasty. That makes sense.
Yeah.
To me. You get a legendary tag team versus the current legendary tag team, and not saying the Young Bucks aren't legends. I understand they're not everybody's cup of tea, but current Young Bucks is probably the best of Young Bucks have been in like 5 years. And, selfishly, I'd like him to come out to Umbop. That's just me.
It's fair. I could go either way for me. I'm thinking it's a slight over that the FTR takes it, because that was a tag match that should have happened back at All Out. But, we didn't. So probably FTR.
And in a last chance Texas death match, MJF defends against Hangman Adam Page for the World Championship. If Hangman loses, he will never be able to challenge for the AEW World Championship again. And because of that reasoning, MJF is winning, because Hangman is going to turn back on that promise in the future and go on a generational heel run again. Not saying his first one was generational, but that heel run he was on for the 6 months it was on was a fucking heater.
I didn't get enough of it.
Great.
Yeah, I didn't get enough of it. I would more than love to see heel Hangman again.
But I think it's going to come from drunk Hangman again, because this one's going to push him back to the bottle again.
It always goes back to the bottom with the bag.
He's beaten twice now.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna, because he beat him last year's Revolution in a match I didn't think he was going to win, and then he beat him for the title in Toronto. No, not Toronto. It was it Wrestle Dream? Did he beat him at Wrestle Dream? And then no, Max was gone by Wrestle Dream. Maybe it was the joint show they do with NJPW Forbidden Door.
Forbidden Door?
I want to say it's Forbidden Door. This would have been great.
Yeah, right. Yeah, according to my research.
But he's up 2-0, and now he's going into the match he's only lost once to a fucking maniacal evil person. That
a vampire,
a maniacal evil person into a good guy somehow. I fucking love wrestling, man. That will never make sense to me. Breaks into a house, chokes a man with a chain, is cheered. Fucking great.
Yeah, it's a time.
I don't see a way that MJF loses this. I don't think. I'll say this. I think everybody was hoping for more with Hangman's second reign with the title. I think it's leaps and bounds better than his first reign with the title. I think that's clearly evident, but that doesn't do enough to warrant him winning the title back already. And MJF, this current MJF is, I mean, it's still fucking MJF. He's a top 5 wrestler in the world.
Yep.
Top 5, maybe top 3, arguably number 1. But they got to start building MJF versus Will Ospreay. Yeah,
that's the all-in match that I'm more than 100% certain of. I've said it before. Like, they are AEW's Rock and Austin in my mind. Like, they're the guys who, they're rising, clashing, top clashing, down end clashing.
They even have a Mankind in Darby Allin that can be thrown in that mix at any time. Like,
Hangman's favorite beer. He's better as a chaser.
You have the glass ceiling for smaller wrestlers. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Darby gets it someday. I don't know. Darby seems kind of content.
It too. He might have that Tommy Dreamer-ish.
So I'm saying, yeah, he just is content. I don't know, man. Hangman, his favorite beer, Hangman is a chaser, and like him as a champion is not. It's great for a bit, but like he's not really the long-term champ kind of guy. And in this case, I don't see him becoming champ again. Maybe
it's a beer getting warm. The chase, it's great. You start pounding that thing. And then you got to take a breath. Then you start taking, you wait a few times before sips. And then the beer gets warm and you're like, I don't want this anymore. But then you get somebody like fucking Samoa Joe and you're like, hell yeah. And that's a shot because it's going to go quick and it's going to be awesome. And then you get something like MJF. That's like a glass of wine. You want to savor that fucking thing.
Or like some scotch. Something you can roll up a big old fucking stogie to. Yeah. That being said,
I think for this podcast, we need to use that analogy more. We got to start putting wrestlers
like treating him like alcohol.
Which for the character of Hangman Page is really fucked up of us to do, because intrinsically that dude is an alcoholic who can't control his feelings.
Fucking depressed millennial cowboy.
The anxious millennial cowboy. But Brandon, I don't know about you, but I'm really excited for this. I'm buying this pay-per-view for sure.
I'm half tempted. Yeah, there's a lot of ramification to this. There's a lot at stake.
But I've bought, I think, 3 of the last 4.
Oh.
I don't think I bought 2024 because I wasn't that excited for it, because I just wanted to see Swerve win the title, but they pushed it off Dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Yeah, I bought 2023 mainly because of MJF versus Bryan Danielson, and that's the greatest Iron Man match of all time. I will not argue that. I understand you probably got the Brock Kurt one on the mind, but
I mean, MJF Bryan definitely is up there. Definitely.
2025, the entire card was stacked minus that main event. Like literally, that main event doesn't happen, we're looking at a top 5 wrestling pay-per-view of all time. It's that good.
Mm-hmm.
All they had to do was move that world title to where Storm and Mariah May was, and put their world title match at the end of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Because the fucking show would go off saying the end.
Right. It would have been perfect. It went perfect. They should have pulled that trigger.
And I guarantee,
but now we get to sit and wonder.
That crowd would have been a lot happier with what happened with And don't get me wrong, the Death Riders now are great, but back then we were just getting tired of them.
Yeah, they were. We always ready to be done with them.
I just named off 5 matches that could easily be match of the year contenders. So I'm excited, man. As always, this was a lot of fun. Kicking Out Pod, you got to join us for one soon. We'll hopefully come on your guys' cast soon too. We'll get that figured out. Next week, we'll talk about what happened at Revolution. Who's joining us?
We've got Boris from Love Wrestling CA.
Big Bad Boris.
Compatriots of, well, maybe not necessarily compatriot, but he shares a beautiful umbrella with our friends at Between Two Beards. So it'll be a good time. You were at this Christmas party, right?
Yeah,
Is that where you ran in?
Met Boris before.
Yeah,
good guy.
Yeah.
And
good
now he's
dude.
finally seen The Sandlot. So, there's that. Took him a long time.
I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about with that next one. Coming up next week, AEW Revolution.
In
results.
2 weeks, normally we would talk about this next week, but because we'll have a guest, I don't want to go on it too much. But 2 weeks, we're going to be kicking open the door because it's time to return to the Hot Take Emporium. And we won't be alone for that either.
Nope.
Our buddy
It's going to
Graham,
be
Wrestle Rant, will be joining us. Graham Matthews, that motherfucker. I love Graham so much.
How do you have
appropriate
an episode of Hot Take Emporium without a guy who goes by the name Wrestle Rant? How do you do it? It just doesn't make sense to me.
Our first episode with him, we went almost 2 hours. So I'm excited because Grant's
we're just shooting the shit. Yeah, I'm excited.
Boris, we'll see you next week. Grant, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Everybody else, we'll see you soon because this has been your favorite podcast saying thanks as always for stopping by the Ope Three-Way. Have a beer on us, and we will see you next time. Have a great night.